Hello and thanks for tuning into Food for Thought. I'm Luke.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we're talking about, is Android better than Apple?
Or is Apple better than Android?
Let's find out in today's podcast. Just a disclaimer, me and Jacob are both Apple lovers.
Yes.
So if it ends up going both on Apple's side and Android gets shot down, we are very sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry if you're an Android person, but we're just saying facts today. We're not necessarily going to give our own opinions, but we're just going to say the cold, hard facts about Apple versus Android and what each of the phones can do. So, let's get into it.
Starting with Apple. Some pros of Apples. Apples always have really good hardware and software, both controlled and optimized by Apple.
So, related to that, my family is very much Apple people, and our laptops, our phones, even our TV is like Apple, and it's all connected and on the same account, so it makes it really easy and simple.
For pairing, if you want to pair the new Beats Power Beats 3, which I don't know if you knew this, but Beats are actually by Apple.
Yeah, Apple bought out Beats a few years back,
So Beats Power Beats 3,
and
or Apple AirPods. You can set it next to the iPhone 8 or the iPhone 10, and it automatically connects.
Which is really easy. If you just buy earbuds and don't know all this technological stuff, set it next to it and it pairs. So, really simple.
And it takes like 5 seconds. It's really nice, and they sound really good. They're a little more expensive, and that's definitely a con for Apple, but we're not there yet.
Yes.
It has a very nice app stores. They clean it, and they make sure that there is no malware on any apps you download, except for a few. But they really do a really good job comparing that.
Yes, the App Store is very well functioning. I mean, you can do a lot. Like for kids, parents can set up a feature where the kids can't buy apps without the parent approving it and stuff.
Yeah, so don't they have to enter like a special code or something?
Yeah, so even just the features that the App Store provides really helps with it.
And they have generally good tech support. Now let's get into the cons. First con, in our local area, the only place an Apple can be fixed is about 12 miles from here.
Yeah, there's that.
And there's only one in our local area. So Apple stores are kind of scarce.
Yeah.
So if you have a broken Mac, you kind of have to drive there because there's nowhere else to get it fixed. Or you go to like Xperamac
or Verizon store.
Some of them have
phones.
Apple technicians working there, but generally you have to go to the Apple store. You can't expand the storage on the phone, but I thought you could.
You can expand the iCloud storage, but not the hard storage.
Yeah. So for my iPhone, I have 64 gigs. If I go into settings, I can't make it 120.
Yeah, you can't buy more gigs.
You have to
back up the phone somehow, or buy a new phone,
or go back and
delete.
buy a 120 gig phone. Okay.
The customization possibilities are kind of limited.
Yeah, because you can't. The thing with Apple's is all of it's compact really well. Like with Android, you can put on a home button and stuff. Like if you look on YouTube, there are guys putting home buttons on iPhone 10s, but it's also not going to work the same.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much you can do outside of changing the color and the size of the phone, and some you can't even change the size.
Another con, iPhone 10, no home button. Now they're turning into Samsung. Samsung and Androids were known for not having a home button or just having a little thing on the edge of the corner that said back. So now I feel that really hurt Apple because the iPhone 10 was one of the least selling Apple phones made.
Yeah, they actually, you may not know this, but when they discontinued the iPhone 6S and the iPhone SE, they also discontinued the iPhone 10. And that's part of the reason they made the 10S and the 10S Max and even the 10R, because they were not happy with the sales on the iPhone 10 at all.
And in fact, people started going back to the iPhone 6 and the 7 and the 8. By the way, the 8 is perfect. The one con about 8 and up and the 7 is that there is no audio jack.
That's so annoying. You have to buy a $20 dongle or a rip-off dongle, which is this thing that plugs into the phone. And
that transfers it to an audio. So for us doing our podcast, we have a dongle to an AUX cable that goes to an audio splitter that goes to earbuds. And it would be so much easier if we could just plug it in. Just because we could eliminate this whole stretch. We're looking at it right now. We could eliminate half these cords here.
half. Yes.
If we just didn't have that. So that's honestly a big con. But otherwise, Apple phones are really well made. They're very good looking, too.
Yes, Apple phones look very nice, especially the 10R and the 10 phones. They look really good.
And if we talk about the glass back for a second, I mean, that looks good. Like, I have a case on mine, but if you flip it over on my phone, you can still see that there's a glass back because it's more shiny than the usual iPhone 6S Plus or 6S.
So now let's just go on to Android for a second. Some of the pros of Android: it's open sourced and easily customized phones. So you can really do a lot with the phones, and there's a lot of different things that you can do with them.
Yeah, the nice thing is a lot of, well, if we're talking Android, but, if we say Samsung, LG, they make stuff that's compatible for all of them. And it all fits under one name, Android.
Yeah. And also, a lot of these Android phones have expandable storage, which is something that Apple does not have. So if you
because they want to make money.
So if you want more storage on your phone and you didn't buy enough initially, you can buy more storage, and that's a huge pro in my opinion.
Another pro for Android is that you can get it fixed at any phone fix place.
Any place, because
it's not just a special Apple, because Apples have totally different motherboards and totally different technology inside the phone.
Because they're so universal. And also, there's a wider choice of different phones that you can potentially get. I mean, there's a ton. There's a lot. So, also, this isn't listed, but another huge pro is that they are a lot cheaper. The new Apple phones, the 10s, even the 10R, which is like a lower level phone, is still $750, and the 10s Max is $1,500.
Yeah, they're ridiculously expensive. They're beautiful phones. Don't get me wrong. The technology with them is really nice.
But they're so expensive.
For something you drop on a daily basis and something, it's like, you might as well just, okay, we're not supporting Android here. It sounds like it, but we're not. In fact, we really think Apple is the way to go. But, price-wise, Android makes lesser quality items, but you can buy it cheaper.
And if you're someone who doesn't really care about your phone, I would actually say go get an Android. If it's your first phone, maybe get an Android.
Track phone.
Or if it's like a track phone, you get cheaper service and just give it to your kids who you don't trust to have a nice Apple phone. Then
because these track phones are $50 and they could fall down about and explode, and it wouldn't matter because it was $50.
Now, just getting into some of the cons of Android, and these are really the reasons why they are cheaper phones. There's a much higher chance of malware than
viruses,
than on the Apple phones. And also, the interfaces are not the same on all the different phones.
My dad has an LG, or had an LG, and it didn't have a home button. It was 2 squares or something. I don't exactly remember. And then it had 2 arrows on the side. And then my dad got a Samsung, and now there's a home button. So he's like, where's the button that changes my tabs? And I go, Dad, now there's a home button. He's like, what? Because it's not all the same.
They're all different.
If they set it up all the same, then maybe that would help them a little bit.
So that's just a level of things that are not the same that can be confusing to different people who are going from phone to phone. Whereas Apple, until they changed to the swipe to exit apps, it's been the same.
It's been the same all the way up to the 8.
It's been from the 1 to the 8, and it's been the same thing.
I love my home button.
So another thing that's about the Android that's like a con, that the like customer support is not near to the level as Apple. Even if they're still.
I mean, they're all from India, but at least the Apple support is a little better.
Yeah, Apple has relatively decent support, but Android, it's hit or miss with the customer support. You never know if you're going to get what you need.
Okay, let's talk about apps for a second. So, if we talk about apps, and I feel that Android apps can be a little more confusing, and you have a better chance of getting malware or viruses with those apps.
So I'm so accustomed to Apple that when I look at someone using like an Android phone, I'm confused. I'm actually confused.
Speaking of that, I have a friend who said, "Look at this," and I kept by accident exiting the app because there were so many weird buttons on this phone. I didn't understand how it worked. I'm like, what is going on?
For Apple, it's really simple, at least with the 8 and below. Press the button to close the app, and really everything else is optional.
There's a lot of simple stuff with Apple, and I feel that
they're better made phones.
They're better and they're higher quality. But, let's talk about assistants.
Siri.
The iconic
Siri.
Everybody knows and loves that.
Maybe not loves, but definitely
knows the voice.
Knows Siri.
It's kind of like a meme, honestly. But anywho, let's talk about assistants.
So
there is the Google Assistants on Google Pixel and some Androids.
Yes.
And for Microsoft phones, there is Cortana. Now, Cortana, I have an HP computer. I absolutely hate it, but it was cheaper than buying a Mac.
Settling.
So, settling for, I mean, it's not a terrible computer, but still. Anywho, I go, "Hey, Cortana, pull up the calculator." It goes, "What's a calculator?" I'm like, see, Siri would know this.
The only problem is sometimes Siri mishears you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's a kid in my class, and he was just talking to the teacher, and his phone was in his pocket, and then Siri thought he said the word "Hey Siri," but it went off and it went, "Yes," and the teacher goes, "Give me your phone." It was great. I don't mean to fill this podcast with funny stories, but I mean, I think that's
spot on. Hey Siri can be annoying at times when you don't actually say "Hey Siri," but it activates.
Yeah, its listening features, its microphone, like its processors, like, did that say that or did it say this?
Like you say, "Hey Siri, open my calendar," and it says, "I don't know what Jimmy Fallon is doing tonight," and you're like,
"Oh,
I
yeah.
don't."
And
sorry, I don't understand. Please try again.
Oh yeah, so the one time I was trying to call a pizza joint, I said, "Call blank pizzeria," and it said, "I'm sorry, repeat." I said, "Call blank pizzeria," and it said, "Calling Jimmy." I'm like, wait, what? So Siri has its faults.
It has it, yes, it definitely does. It could have been done a lot better, but
you know what? It's better than Cortana. I don't know. I've never had an OK Google.
Yeah, I just know I know friends of mine who got like the Google Home Hub, and it's don't get the Echo Show, cause
Alexa.
He was standing 2 inches away and was like, "How can I watch the Rose Bowl, like the college football game?" And it was like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying, so don't." Google Assistant, I haven't had very good experiences with it, so.
Yeah, so I feel that we've covered most topics, and we're going to clearly say that we still both love Apple.
I mean, it is expensive, but other than its price, it's the better option.
iPhone XS comes with a free pair of earbuds. Earbuds? Yeah, that makes sense. AirPods.
It does?
It does.
10S?
They come in the box.
The 10S?
10, anything from 10 up does.
So yeah, that's nice because that's $150 off of the phone that you're essentially not paying for.
I had to buy a separate headphones for, just to get that Bluetooth feature. The AirPods actually aren't. Pretty much AirPods are pretty much your standard Apple earbuds. earbuds.
Just Bluetooth.
Just with the cords cut off.
Yeah.
They sound exactly the same. I've talked to my friends who have them. They say they sound exactly the same.
So really,
it's just minus the cord.
Really, the only difference I found is they're cordless, and they look like you shoved cigarettes in your ears.
More like toothbrush heads.
Yeah.
You see the bristles in your ear and it's just hanging there. Yeah, but if you get the Beats or Power Beats 3, they wrap around your ear. They look a little nice.
They certainly do look nicer.
And didn't Android make a pair of wireless earbuds? They're called something. They're like $260. I'll look it up right now on our side computer over here.
Side computer.
Let's see. Let us see. What do you think they were called?
Android earbuds.
No, they were I'm pretty sure they were by Samsung.
Samsung. I don't know. Samsung
wireless earbuds.
What does it say?
Here we are. The
Samsung
Gear Icon X, and they are $149 at most. You can get a refurbished pair on eBay for $100. Yeah, so they are about the price of the AirPods. They're about the same price as AirPods.
But looking at them they look exactly like those $50 pairs that you get on Amazon that look the exact same.
Yeah, aren't you buying a pair of those?
I'm getting something slightly different, which is actually really cool. I'm getting a pair of Bluetooth, like a headset almost, not really a headset. I don't know what to call it, but it's really cool. It doesn't actually have a speaker. It just vibrates, and vibration is sound, so that's how it works. It's really interesting.
If we talk about other accessories that come with your phone, for Apple, cases. Much more easy to get. They're straightforward. They're simple. But for my dad's phone, it's almost impossible for him to find a case for his phone. We've looked everywhere, and only one place carries it in our area. So Android cases, even if it's not by Android, just buying a case for your phone is extremely difficult. Hey, look, it's snowing outside.
Whereas in Apple, you've got OtterBox that makes Apple things. You have slim, gel cases almost. You have
Don't they have those funky water cases too?
Yeah, you have plastic cases. And then you have
the rubber skin ones.
And the mouse case. Have you seen that? It's protects an OtterBox and looks like a slim case. It's really cool. I'll show you later. Yeah, but MOUS mouse cases, they're really good. I'd recommend one.
Not a sponsor.
Not sponsored. I just saw the ad. They 40 feet in the air, dropped a phone onto solid concrete, not a scratch.
Not a sponsor.
And it's slimmer than an OtterBox. Not sponsored. I just think it's cool.
We should also start off by saying, our opinions aren't sponsored either way.
No.
We weren't sponsored by Android.
We weren't sponsored.
In fact, we're such a small channel, we wouldn't be sponsored to begin with.
If we were sponsored,
we would let you know.
We would let you know.
And we would
tell you. That would be the first thing we say before we even introduce you.
Hey, by the way, we're sponsored now, so yeah. No, we're not even sponsored. We do this in our free time. It's not even... It's more of a kind of to have fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
But I think this wraps up our conversation. We'll see you again next week with our next theme, and maybe we'll have some more voices. Who really knows?
Who really knows? So
we will see you guys later. We hope that you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you.
Please remember to comment, subscribe, and share this video to a friend.
I don't know if we ever put this in our video, but it's on our website that our goal is to have 100 subscribers. So if you guys can make that a reality for us, please remember to hit that subscribe button. Send us a picture. I don't know how you're going to do that. Forward it to us somehow. There's a business acquired section in our channel section, and you can email it to us, and we would be happy to see that you broke your phone subscribing so hard. All right, that wraps it up. We'll see you guys later. See you. That's a wrap. Oh, my gosh.
Why did we do this to ourselves?
Ooh. I gotta get a drink here. Holy crow.
Oh my gosh, yes. So what should we do next week?
What should we do next week?
Hopefully new studio next week. Hopefully.
I don't mind it in here. This place looks pretty nice.
It's nice, but it's not our own place.
Well, okay, that'd be that's a pipe dream right there, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pipe dream.
Pipe dream. 100%.
So that's pipe dream.
Yeah.